Hi everyone, welcome to this yoga stretch for saxophonists with Sax Bandits. My name is Helen from HMFYOGA. I'm a yoga teacher and I'm going to take you through this simple stretch which is really going to help relieve any tension after you've been playing. So through the neck, upper back, even into the wrists and forearms, and then down through the lower back as well. This is suitable for all levels and you don't need any special equipment, just a comfortable surface to bring yourself onto. And maybe you'd like to grab a pillow just to place underneath your bum, or when we come into a child's pose, you can pop it underneath your head for a little bit more comfort. We're going to start seated, so you can come sit however you like. You don't have to be cross-legged. Just make sure your spine is nice and tall though, so see if you can really find your sitting bones. And then lifting out of the waist, stacking your heart over your hips and your head over your heart. Imagine you're growing tall through the crown of the head. Relaxing the hands onto the knees or the thighs. Let's take a nice big breath in. See if you can send it down towards your belly. And a nice big sigh out. Good. We're going to start by releasing tension through the neck. So dropping one ear to one shoulder. See if you can tell both shoulders to relax and be heavy. Just breathing and releasing into that side of the neck. Very nice. And then slowly rolling the chin down towards the chest. And take opposite ear to opposite shoulder. Breathing into that side. See if you can even release through your jaw as well. As notice if you're clenching your teeth. Good. And then continue with these neck rolls. So maybe some of us stay in these little half semicircles. Maybe some of us feel like they want to drop the head all the way back, opening up through the throat space. Just be really mindful with your delicate neck joints. So if anything doesn't feel right or if it feels too much, just notice that and be really mindful with yourself. And if you find any niggly points, you can hang out there, work into that. Very nice, good. And then rolling the chin down towards the chest. As you inhale, reach the hands high overhead. See if you can lift out of your waist, interlace your fingers, and then you're going to bring them to the back of your head. Relax the weight of your head into your hands, elbows drop to the side. So if I demonstrate from the side, you've got a little bit of a back bend here and a chest opener. And see if you can really trust your hands and let your head go. Just allow the elbows to butterfly open. Lovely. One more full breath in this space. And as you exhale, releasing the hands down, sitting nice and tall. Great. Let's do a little bit for our wrists here. So you're going to bring your wrists together. See if you can spread your fingers out nice and wide. And then keeping your wrists in contact, you're just going to take a little roll out through those wrists so the backs of the wrists touch. And then the sides, and then back to the beginning. So roll it through in your own time. And don't worry if it starts kind of awkward in the beginning, it's okay. See if you can spread those fingers nice and wide though, so you even feel your stretch down like the palm of the hand and the back of the hand. Good. And then circling the opposite way, that might feel a little more challenging. I find it's quite nice just to rest your eyes onto your wrists here. Just allowing your eyes to have a little bit of a rest too. Just a soft focus. Wonderful. Good. And then last one, releasing the hands down. Let's find an all fours position together. So spread those fingers nice and wide, knees underneath our hips, hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to get a little more into those wrists, so make sure your fingers are spread really wide, and then begin to make some circles over your wrists. Now maybe the circles start off kind of small, and then they can get bigger and bigger if that feels appropriate for your hands and your fingers. Nice. And then circling the opposite way. You might really begin to exaggerate and start to feel it through your hips as well. This is really nice for gently just working into the hips and the lower back as well before we stretch out that area. Lovely. Good. Then coming back to a neutral place here. Good. Spread those fingers wide. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow for our spine. So as you inhale, drop your belly down, lift your chest, so you're arching through the back. And as you exhale, scoop your belly up, let your head drop down, push your shoulder blades into the ceiling. Lovely. Inhale to drop the belly, sway the heart forwards. Exhale to round, flowing your own pace. So if you would like to go a little bit faster than this or a little bit slower, and see if you can just exaggerate it as much as you can. And don't worry if you start off kind of stiff when you first begin to practice this. It's just a nice way just to gently find space in between each vertebrae. Wonderful. And then come back to a neutral place with your spine. Good. From here, we're going to work a little bit into our forearm. So you're going to turn your fingertips to the outside edges of the mat to begin with, and then just begin to sway from side to side. So just, again, working into the wrists. And imagine your shoulder blades just kind of slipping and sliding over your back body. Great. And then from here, you're going to come onto the tops of your hands. So turn your fingers inward. If you've got very sensitive wrists, I would definitely recommend just placing a little bit more weight into your feet. Otherwise, if it feels okay, spread the fingers nice and wide and see if you can straighten up your arms. So the tendency is to kind of start to do this like a bit of a gorilla, but see if you can stretch the arms so they're straight. So you're stretching through the forearm and the top of the wrist. Definitely a little forgotten area of the body. And one that you might not even know that you feel quite tight in. Good. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Perfect. And then releasing the hands, bringing them back to face forwards. Perfect. From here, tuck your toes. We're going to find a little downward facing dog. We're going to keep our knees quite bent. So sending the sitting bones back towards the ceiling. See if you can place a little bit more weight into your feet than your hands. And then take a little pedal out through the feet, dropping one heel at a time, just stretching out through the back of the legs. And this is a really nice kind of mild inversion, just to help open up through the lower back. Let your head hang heavy, like really, really let it go here. Wonderful. Good. See if you can find length through your spine, so nice generous bend in the knees. Wonderful. From here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. So coming to the back edge of our mat. So feet about hip width apart, maybe a bit wider. And then bend your knees so your belly's onto your thighs. Grab opposite elbows. Let your head go. Now that's the key point here. If you really let your head go and allow your tummy to relax on your thighs, you'll allow your spine to decompress here. So particularly through that upper and middle spine. Also really nice for your lower back because your tummy is supported onto your thighs, so there shouldn't be any pulling in that lower back. So maybe just check in with yourself. Maybe you give your head a little nod yes and a little shake out no, just to really feel that release. Wonderful. And then bringing the fingertips down towards the mat, bend into the knees, and you're going to come to seated in whatever way suits you. So make your way down to a seated position. Wonderful. Once you arrive, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees butterfly out. So this is where you might want to be sitting on a block or something, or a pillow. And bring the feet as far away from you so that your knees are comfortable. So they don't have to be like super close with the knees up high, just a nice comfortable space. Lovely. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to lean forwards, and it might only be a few centimetres or even millimetres, that's okay. Maybe some of us can relax all the way forwards. And this is just gently opening up through the hips and opening up through that lower back as well, like making lots of lovely space in that lower back. Good. Allow your head to be heavy. And there's no pulling or forcing here with the hands. It's literally just taking like a lean into the stretch to find your edge. So find the edge that feels good and like appropriate for your body today. Wonderful. Nice big breath in. Long breath out. Good. Slowly walking your hands back towards you. Let's close up the knees like a book. And then we're going to come into child's pose, which is really therapeutic for our lower back. You're going to take your knees as wide or as narrow as is comfortable. So I'll let you kind of have a little bit of a play. If you go wider, you feel more opening in the lower back and the groin. If you're narrow, you have more support for the lower back, but sometimes people can find it more challenging to breathe that way, if you might squash in towards your ribs a little bit. So I'll let you decide. Big toes together. And then you're going to walk your hands forwards, allow your tummy to drop forwards. You can use your hands as a little pillow. You could use an actual pillow. If your head's quite high, I would definitely recommend stacking up a couple of pillows for yourself. And just allow your body to fold forwards. Lengthening the tailbone back. And there is nothing to reach for or strive for here. See if you can just allow yourself to give in to gravity. Sending the breath down towards the belly. So your belly presses against your lower back and makes some space for you there. Wonderful. From here, we're going to walk the hands all the way over to the left. Keep your head dropping down. So hands walk all the way over to the left and breathe into that right hand side. So you might feel that stretch through the rib cage, the waist, even the right hand side of your lower back. Good. And then walking the hands all the way back through middle, take it all the way over to the right hand side. You might only need to go a few inches to feel that stretch. And see if you can breathe a little deeper and just notice where that breath travels to. Wonderful, good. Walking the hands back through center. So a couple more breaths here in your child's pose. Good. One more full breath in. And let it go through the mouth. Good. Slowly walking your hands back towards you. Come find a comfortable seat. Sit tall. Just like where we began, take a lovely big breath in. And a nice big sigh out. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. If any of those postures really hit the spot for you, maybe you can incorporate them a little bit more into your everyday life. I really hope you enjoyed this yoga stretch for saxophonists. If you did, please do let us know, and we shall see you again soon. Bye.